all. First, our word of warning. Taebyn is off running in the wild of the mountains of Oregon while we're doing this recording, but never fear, good listener. We still have lots of fun, furry things to share and fun things to do. And you know, that train may even stay on the tracks this episode. So without further ado, let's get this show rolling. Well, hello, greetings, guten tag, aloha, and Moobarkfluff to all the creatures in the podiverse. You are listening again to Barely here at the Barely Furcasting featuring Taebyn podcast. Here in the studio with me today, I have my faithful co-producer and editor, Rayne Raccoon. Welcome again, Rayne.
Thank you. How's everybody doing
I think we're all doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Working hard, but I'm, surviving.
That's good.
Yeah.
Also with us is our intrepid fur on the street TickTock. How are things with you, TickTock?
Oh, I've been good, but I've been busier than a tick at a casting call for the live-action Bambi movie.
Oh. Okay.
That sounds very busy.
Yes.
Busy. And from the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, our very own Cheetaro. What's up with you, Cheetaro?
Not much. I am surviving and hoping it doesn't rain anymore.
Hoping it doesn't rain. That's good. Well, and as I said before, our pup is off running amok in the woods, so it's just the four of us today. And with that, I don't know if anybody has anything from the past today.
I have nothing from past today.
All right. I think we've been very good about keeping things up to date and correct lately.
Well, yeah, we haven't said anything too controversial that we have
correct
to
ourselves.
Readdress.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Well, one of the things we haven't done in a while is the Dictionary of Obscure Words, and I went to the V today, and I looked up a bunch of words, and one of the words was valetale. Yes.
Is that what you give your tail on February 14th?
No, it's actually a group of valets or valets.
It's the collective for
valets.
I love collective nouns.
Valetale. There you go.
That's kind of an interesting word, to be honest.
It is an interesting word, and I have to say, maybe I should get all the fursuit handlers together at BLFC. We'll just have a little valetale gathering. We'll sip sherry.
Yes.
And
because that's what we always call ourselves when we're around Taebyn and taking care of him. As valets.
Yeah.
I mean, a group photo at the very least.
At the very least.
The valetale group
all the
photo.
haggard handlers with their large backpacks and big bags and all the swag.
Giant
straws, water bottles. Just
brushes.
like looking like the haggard mom at Disneyland waiting by the fountain.
The brushes. Yeah.
Everybody knows that image.
The unsung heroes of the con.
The next word was verglass. Verglas.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one.
Well, that's a film of ice, but a film of ice specifically on a rock.
Okay. I didn't know there was a word for that. I just called it ice on a rock.
Which is why this is the Dictionary of Obscure Words, don't you know?
Ice on the rocks versus...
Rocks on the rocks?
Versus
on the rocks?
Whiskey on the rocks.
Ice on the rocks.
Whiskey on the rocks is called...
Yeah. So, I love this one when I saw it. I could think of all sorts of jokes, but it's the vibra-slap.
Oh,
that's an instrument. I know that one.
I've heard of that.
Yes. It's a modern percussion instrument with rod and ball, which also made me go, okay.
Yeah, it does sound kind of dirty.
Maybe you should mention that on your off-leash
That's
podcast.
right. We'll bring that up on there with a vibra-slap. I can see all the jokes coming from that one. Volatient.
That
sounds
like
very French.
But I'm not sure what it means.
It just means willing.
So
like volunteer.
Yeah.
I guess that's what you call somebody who volunteers instead of just volunteer.
You're the willing volunteer. That'd be saying the Office of Redundancy Office. And our last one was vorpal, which I thought was a made-up word, but it's actually not a made-up word.
Yeah, because that's in Through the Looking Glass. That's from the Jabberwocky poem.
Isn't that kind of like the color between purple and violet?
Between purple and violet is Vorpal. Yes, no. It's like,
Vorpal.
no, it's actually keen and deadly, which is like Rayne just said. It's from the
That
Lewis Carroll poem.
Yeah, that makes sense because the
Vorpal
Vorpal sword
sword.
goes snick
Long
Yeah,
time
when
in
you're-
the manxome foe he sought, so rested he by the tum-tum tree and stood a while in thought.
Yes.
I mean, if you had the Vorpal sword when you're in D&D, you're pretty much kicking butt.
All right.
Yeah, if it's sharp and keen edge, that's what you want in a sword.
And not
Unless you're beheading people, because apparently the big swords that they use to behead people are actually quite dull. And that's because a sharp sword gets stuck in the bones, I guess in the neck bones, where a very blunt sword actually chops right through
Okay.
like an axe.
welcome to execution chat here on BFFT.
I watched a lot of History Channel when I was younger. I'm sorry.
It's kind of like how guillotines have the pointed end, so it goes through the neck
Yes,
better.
it's a slant, so it slices
Right.
instead of chops.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Train tracks almost stayed on. Okay.
Yeah, I told you it was Fat Chance was staying
Fat
on
Cat Chance,
the
that's
rails.
right. All right, so let's jump into our media. And good listener, you're probably going to have a nice short episode tonight. Okay, so I'm watching the Harry Potter movies again in order. I just started number 7, part 1, day before yesterday. I don't necessarily agree with the author of the books, but the movies are pretty darn good. But,
Yeah, well, and that's the actors in the movies really made the characters their own, because there's very little resemblance between some of the characters in the movies and the books, because I've read the books and the movies, and there's I think the actors turned the movie versions of Harry Potter into something completely different than what She Who Shall Not Be Named had written.
Yes.
And all the actors are pretty much against She Who Shall Not Be Named.
So I also watched the latest Bob's Burgers. I finally watched Wonka.
Oh, what'd you think?
Oh,
I liked it.
I thought it was a very nice nod to Gene Wilder's Wonka, especially at the very end.
Mhm.
I got a little choked up at the end because it was a very nice nod to Gene Wilder's version of Wonka.
Yeah. Wasn't what I was expecting, but a lot of people have said it was.
No, it wasn't what I was expecting either. It was actually a kind of more like an Oliver Twist version of Wonka.
Interesting.
It was very interesting.
I'm continuing to watch the new show on, I think it's Apple TV, Bad Monkey. It might be on Paramount. I don't know where it's at anymore.
It's
wherever
it is on your streaming device.
Now that everything's gotten smarter, all the shows that I watch on all the networks come up on my main screen now, and I can just launch them right from there. I don't even have to figure out which network it's on anymore.
I don't even know what I'm subscribed to.
Okay, yeah, that's where I was watching, yeah. And I watched the presidential debate. Wow.
Oh my God.
yeah.
Kamala whipped him like a
Now, we're not going to get
horse.
political on here.
Yeah.
No, but it was
All I can say is
blatantly
wow.
obvious that she was calm, cool, collected, and having a really good time during the debate because she riled him up.
And it doesn't
fierce.
take much.
No, but shit, like they were telling him, "Oh, don't react, don't don't take the bait," and he took the bait, hook, line, and sinker.
Well, I saw little snippets from Jon Stewart talking about it, so it sounds like it was really heated.
I watched it beginning to end. So
wow.
Yeah,
and then I also watched.
Congratulations.
Maybe.
And maybe this is what the presidential debate should have been called: "Those About to Die."
We
is
could only
a series
be so lucky.
that I'm watching on one of the networks, but it's got the actor that played Ramsay Bolton in Game of Thrones in it as the main character.
Oh, okay.
Which is pretty funny. And then speaking of that, I turned on an old, it can't be too old because they talk about the internet and stuff, but an old British comedy called Vicious.
Oh, I've not heard of that one.
It's Sir Ian McKellen and some other British actor, and they're a gay couple that have been together for like 40 years. And they are just bitchy queens to each other the whole time. And
I've heard about that series, but I've never seen it, to be honest.
Oh, no, it's on Tubi. That's where I saw it.
Tubi, okay.
Yeah. So, and so To Those About to Die is really good. It's like Spartacus meets Game of Thrones. You got 4 factions vying for the top spot. You have Caesar drama, gladiators, and chariot racing. Mm-hmm. And lots of
you like movies. Gladiator moves, Jimmy?
And it doesn't disappoint in the gladiator movie genre in that area. That's what I've been watching and taking in. How about you, Rayne?
I was going to rent Blue Beetle, but it was just as cost effective to buy it. It was like $2 more just to buy it. So I bought it, and I'm really glad I did. I mean, what a fun superhero movie. Really good effects, great story, fun actors. It's just well acted. It's got George Lopez in it. And I think the bad guy is Susan Sarandon.
Okay.
I think. But yeah, it's fabulous. It's really well done. Just a lot of fun. If you're a DC fan, I highly recommend it, especially if you're a fan of the Blue Beetle, which is, DC's first Latino superhero, really.
Okay.
And I've also been playing a lot of VR because I got a new VR headset because Meta has decided to depreciate the MetaQuest Pro. And so I'm not... One of the games that's coming out this year that I really want to play is the new Batman Arkham VR game, and it will not be available on anything but Quest 3. So I was like, son of a gun. Well, so I went ahead and bought it. So now I've got a VR headset for downstairs.
Dangle, dangle, dangle in front of the nerds.
Yes.
This game will only be available on this platform. Oh my God, I have to go buy that platform.
I have played every Arkham game that has come out, and they are all fantastic. In their own ways. Some of them are a little bit long and kind of weird, but they are good games.
Hey.
And I have never played one in VR. I really want to play it in VR.
No judgment on my part.
Yeah, so I've been playing a new game that's free this month for me because I've got the Quest Plus for 6 months for buying a new headset. So I've been playing Zero Caliber, and it's kind of like Call of Duty. It's a first-person shooter type game. It's a little less beautiful than Call of Duty because, it's obviously on a standalone headset. Some of the characters are a little low polygon, but the gameplay is really good and the reloading is good. And it feels like you're actually holding a gun when you're shooting people. And the sights really work, which in a lot of games, the sights don't work for crap. So I really like that. Then I've started replaying Dead Hook, which is a space shooter with Spider-Man locomotion. Like you have these chains that come out of your gauntlets, and you can swing around the arena like Spider-Man. If you're not careful, you will get really dizzy and really lost really quick. So because you have to pull up as you're swinging to kind of give yourself momentum. And if you pull up too quick, you end up slamming into the wall and then spinning around. And yeah, I've gotten away from not getting VR motion sickness, except Dead Hook can sometimes give it to me a little bit.
Okay.
So that's all I've been doing for the last couple weeks. I haven't had a lot of time to do anything else. And also doing photo shoots for Taebyn. Any of you haven't seen the new A&W Film Festival page, I did those photos on there for Taebyn.
And a fine job.
We did a big photo shoot. Thank you. We did a fun photo shoot. It had been last weekend when this came out, or 2 weekends before last weekend when this came out. Had a good time. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. You'll be seeing them all over the place.
Definitely.
No doubt.
All right, TickTock, what have you been consuming on the media world?
Well, I do have to confess we have something of a guilty pleasure for airline disasters.
Oh, oh no.
Yeah, but let's see. It's the Canadian-made show that was actually called Mayday up there. It's far more interesting to see how the investigators are able to figure out what happened, sometimes with the tiniest amounts of evidence. Did finally watch the second Dune movie. Really enjoyed that. I guess we're going to be cursed with 3 and 4.
That's kind of what I've heard. I don't know. I mean, I haven't watched the second part yet. I've heard it's slower than the first part, which is kind of making me worried.
It's not that it wasn't that slow to me. I don't know, but I kind of like slow stuff. As long as it's going somewhere.
Well, I mean, to each his own.
But yeah, I guess, if life is fair, then they'll just
Is there a pug in the second half?
No.
Damn it. They forgot the pug. I mean, well, we got Timothy Chalamet, so
He's kind of a pug.
Yeah, he's kind of cute as a pug. So
Rings of Power. Yeah, so started the second season of that. I will say it is a lot of fun, but it's definitely for the Lord of the Rings nerds, raises paw, barely might get impatient with it depending on his Lord of the Rings nerdiness.
Yeah.
So we can make it a litmus test.
Just give me the Reader's Digest version. Cut it down to about 20 minutes and give me all the highlights.
Well, I mean,
basically, here's the thing about a movie.
That's very un-Tolkien
Here's
of
the thing
you.
about a movie. If you can summarize a coming into a movie by telling you what happened in the last movie in the first 5 minutes of a movie, why did I spend $20 to see that movie in the first place? Because you just gave me the entire movie in the preview.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, just watch the summaries of all the subsequent movies.
Right, and you're done.
And the last movie. You have to watch the last movie too, apparently, because then they won't summarize it because there's no more movies.
I do enjoy movies that kind of meander along sometimes. I mean, I liked...
Mm-hmm.
I thought the Lord of the Rings movie trilogies, the Peter Jackson ones, were really good.
Oh, outstanding.
Yeah,
and
definitely good.
Yeah, and, I mean, they do, like, the various characters, they do kind of, like, fiddle-faddle with who's going to be what and kind of keep you guessing in the first season.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're like, okay, this is Gandalf, this is Sauron, there's no doubt,
So this is like a prequel? Yes. Rings of Power prequel?
Yeah,
okay.
So the writers got the rights to, I mean, of course they use the Silmarillion, but the writers also got the rights to Tolkien's private archives and to basically like mull through that and all the little things that Tolkien never really like put together into like one comprehensive novel.
Well, and I'd heard there's some unpublished works that he had, that his family had of his that were kind of like in limbo up until recently.
Yeah. So they got full permission to review those and make a movie out of it. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Cheetaro, what have you been consuming media-wise?
Well, if it isn't well known, I enjoy anime.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And Crunchyroll, if you do not know, is an awesome streaming service.
It is, especially if you love anime.
Oh, yeah. And there is this one that came out this year. It's really excellent. It's called Kaiju number 8.
Okay.
Ooh.
And a kaiju is basically just a monster.
Yeah. Godzilla, Mothra, Gamma Ray. Yeah.
But Kaiju number 8 is specifically a man who gets turned into this monster, and through the whole entire series, they basically show his interactions with other humans, and that's kind of cool because he can't really tell other people that he is this kaiju, because he starts off with going out and killing these other kaiju, and he actually ends up becoming one. And he can't tell anybody, because if he does, then they will kill him. And so he befriends somebody, and they help him to do certain things. And it's really, if you have Crunchyroll, I would look up Kaiju. It's Kaijj, U number 8. It's really a good series. There are only 12 episodes.
Okay.
But there is going to be a second season, so I'm looking forward to that.
Excellent.
But yeah, that's kind of what I've been watching, other than just my normal genre of movies that I like to watch for reviewing purposes.
Awesome. We're going to do something that we haven't done for a while. 3 this or that questions. So,
yay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We are up to number 274 of 3001. So just keep that in mind.
Oh my God. We're going to have to keep this podcast going for a long time to finish this book out. even if we start doing this every episode.
That's the entire episode. We're going to get through 10 pages today.
Right.
So we'll throw this out for everybody. Would you rather only sing your favorite song or never sing again?
Ooh, anybody who's heard me sing would probably rather have me never sing again.
This is like the one where I couldn't hear music anymore?
Yes.
I guess never sing again, because at least I could still listen to music, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, see,
Yeah.
I love karaoke, so if I only had to sing my favorite song, it might get boring, but at least it would be a happy thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I'm
Well,
sure, Pup, who's absent, would say he would rather sing his favorite song, because Pup likes to sing.
Okay, would you rather live in a mansion with no heat or a shack with heat?
It depends on where the mansion is. Like if it was in Antarctica, I would probably say the shack. But if the mansion was like somewhere, fairly temperate, I would probably say the mansion, and I would just get more blankets.
Like the Caribbean?
Yeah, this is the Caribbean. Hell, I don't want heat at
Yeah.
all.
I mean, there's a Finnish saying. It's like there's no bad weather, only bad clothes.
Right. Yeah,
All right.
that makes sense.
Well, anywhere that I can go all natural, I would say is good for me. So whether it's a mansion or a shack, but I guess like Rayne said, if it was in Antarctic, I would probably vote no.
Yeah, I'd rather live in the shack in Antarctica.
Fair
Yes.
enough. Fair enough.
Yes.
Okay. For cutting, it doesn't say that, but I'm just saying only use scissors or only use knives.
Knives.
Oh,
Knives.
definitely knives.
Okay.
I'm pretty good with a knife or a razor blade, as far as cutting straight lines. So I could do without scissors if I had to.
All right, then. Would you rather have a loud laugh or no laugh?
I already have
Loud.
a loud laugh, so I'm going to
Definitely loud laugh.
That's definitely loud for sure.
Okay.
Weird laugh. Those are the best.
Yeah.
The snorting
Yeah.
kind.
You sound like my pug.
Or the the Fran Dresser laugh.
Oh no. Her laugh made me completely hate her for the longest time.
Oh, Mr. Sheffield.
There's something about that
The fact that I know that
No, I can't.
is just really bad. That show was on for what, 2 seasons, if that?
I think it was like 5 or 6.
Was it really?
Yeah, it went on for a lot longer than you thought. Yeah, I ignored it. I ignored it as much as possible because I just don't like Fran Drescher. It's nothing against her as a person. It's more just I don't like the character she played on The Nanny.
It was kind of a
As a person, I've heard she's much different than the character she played on The Nanny.
She doesn't sound as nasally in real life.
No, that was
Yeah,
a character
yeah.
thing. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
like Rosanna Dana and
Yes.
and
So it was on for 7 seasons, just so
Wow.
you're aware.
Okay.
And Gilbert Gottfried didn't actually sound the way he portrayed himself as most of his characters.
Yeah.
Okay. Never use salt or never use pepper.
Never use pepper. I have to have my salt. I
Never-
can do without pepper if I have
Never
to.
use salt. I haven't used salt since I was 12.
Oh, good for
Yeah, pepper.
And you're a cat. How?
I lick it off of people. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, a margarita without salt on the rim is just
It's terrible, yeah.
I have gotten to like margaritas without salt. They taste so much better, in my opinion. But, maybe if there's sugar around the rim, I would be okay with that. But salt, no.
Well, if there was sugar around the rim of lots of things, it would be so much better.
Yeah, it would
Very
be lots
true.
I like to meet my boyfriend Sugar Rim.
Insert Taebyn. I don't get it.
ooh.
Okay, and finally, no bathroom door or no shower curtain.
Oh my God, I live with both of those at some point in my life.
Yeah, because I live alone right now, no bathroom door wouldn't bother me
Yeah,
at all.
no bathroom
I mean,
door, because if you don't have the shower curtain,
If I don't have a shower
It's a
curtain,
mess.
if I don't have a shower curtain, the water gets all over
it's
the
a
bathroom.
mess.
Yeah, I would have to say no shower curtain, to be honest, because our shower usually doesn't have a curtain anyway. So,
Okay.
but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in a big enough shower, it's not a big deal. But if you have a little bathtub shower, like in the 1940s house I live in,
Well, our
it
shower,
does not work good.
our shower here at the house is like enough for like 4 people to go in there. So
Wow.
Oh, group shower.
yeah, group shower.
Yeah,
Fun.
at Rayne's shower, there's not enough room to change your mind in there.
Not really.
All right, well, that takes us up to furry news with our intrepid fur on the street, TickTock. What's going on in the world of news today?
Well, let's see. I have an article from the Daily Star, which is a UK-based tabloid. Now, yeah. Now,
Yes.
keep in mind.
A bad one.
Now, keep in mind the source. It's a tabloid which makes its money off of sensationalized writing. The title is "Burning Man Diaper Wearing Furry Slammed for Creeping Out Kids at Family Event."
Wait, his family or other families event?
Other families.
Oh, okay.
Now, up until
that's not cool.
Now, up until I read the article, I always thought that Burning Man was at least 18 plus, but it's not.
No, it's an all ages event.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's kind of. I wouldn't take kids to it. I wouldn't take my nieces to it.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be a bit much. But without getting too much into the tabloids exaggerations, it mainly has to do with a comment war on the Bird app. So we're pretty much already scraping the bottom of the barrel here. So some users were responding to a now deleted furry's photo of himself wearing a diaper over his animal costume, all the while standing near kids. So here's some excerpts that are a bit amusing. And so the furry says, "Yeah, I'm weird and proud of it. Me wearing a diaper over my fursuit isn't hurting anyone." But the user that was commenting back wasn't having any of it, adding, "It is fetish gear near children. F off."
All right.
So
the same thing happens at Pride every year.
Right.
People are like, "Oh, this is supposed to be a family event, no fetish gear." Well, it's supposed to be an all-inclusive event.
Yes.
You should allow people to be their authentic self. If you don't want your kids to see that, don't take your kids.
Yeah.
If you have kids there, you need to explain to them that, hey, there are certain things that certain adults do that are different than what you're used to. You don't have to like it, but just respect their right to do it themselves, as long as they're not interfering with you or trying to come on to you or something like that.
Well, this year at Pride, there was actually a fully nude person walking around before the parade started, and he was, let's just say, protruding around in all his glory.
Okay. But back to the article. One person questioned how a child would know it was fetish gear, to which the fuming keyboard warrior said, "A child doesn't need to know specifics. They just need too weird for an adult to wear a diaper." Broken English broken. Another chimed in, "Why do they need to know that? You're the weird one for wanting it to make sound weird for kids to learn that self-expression is wrong." And lastly, another added, "You don't actually care about children. You just don't like seeing people or seeing things expressing themselves in a non-traditional way. Kids aren't uncomfortable. You are. Maybe learn about radical self-expression. At Burning Man, people ran around in all kinds of outfits with kids around."
There have been Burning Men where people have run around just naked, and actually, I think all of them there's people running around just naked. That's been a feature of Burning Man since the very beginning.
Have another article here. It's about furry migration in Minneapolis, which occurred recently. Yeah.
Oh.
So over 2,000 furries attended furry migration in Minneapolis. I'm guessing that Metro Mutt, the Minnesota furry who is running for city council, was there. We talked about him. Yeah, we talked to him last time, but I was not able to get confirmation on that. A good time was had by all, including a writer for the Minnesota Daily, which is a student media organization at the University of Minnesota. The writer had been introduced to the world of furries only a few days prior to the convention. From reading the article, he appeared to be quite impressed with the creativity and commitment to the fursonas, the fursuits, the art scene in general, and the money raised for the local charity, which was just over $8,000 for Passionate Pines Wildlife Rehabilitation. And he concluded with, "As a non-furry who attended a furry convention myself, I was surprised to see how similar the convention was to other conventions." And he didn't specify anything, but from reading about him, he's an arts editor. So I think he was talking about video game or comic conventions.
Any other news articles to discuss?
None for the rest of this week.
Let's get to our upcoming events. There's quite a few coming up over the next several weeks, and we're going to just jump right into it. September 18th to the 21st in Hamburg, Germany is Eurofurence. The West Aussie Fur Frenzy 2024 is taking place that same weekend, September 20th to the 22nd, in Fremantle, not pay for a mantle, but Fremantle, West Australia. Rügen FurCon 2024 takes place September 26th to the 29th in Binz, Germany. Another furry convention takes place 27th through the 29th of September in Ontario, Canada. Furry Takeover takes place September 29th, 27th through the 29th in Fontana Dam. I'm fond of that dam, Fontana Dam.
Fontana Dam.
Furnavia takes place in Norway, October 2nd through the 5th. For those of you that were in Poland planning to go to Furry 2024, it's been canceled, so don't go there. Instead, head on over to Hickory, North Carolina, because it's right next door to Poland, and you can go to Carolina Fur Fair 2024. The weekend of October 10th through the 13th is Confur in Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico.
And you pronounced that correctly, too.
I know.
You're becoming bilingual, barely.
No, bilingual barely? Never.
Barely bilingual.
Alamo City Furry Invasion is taking place in San Antonio, Texas. I pronounced that one.
My old stomping grounds.
I pronounced that one right correctly, too.
Yes.
And, of course, the 14th through the 17th is Biggest Little Fur Con in Reno, Nevada. Reference is taking place in Rotterdam, Netherlands, October 24th through the 27th. Infernity takes place that same weekend in Taichung City, Taiwan. And then...
I don't know if you pronounced that right because I can't pronounce it either.
Taichung. Furry Cruise takes place October 22nd or 26th to November 2nd. They're on the Norwegian Joy, departing from Miami, Florida.
That does kind of sound like kind of fun, like a furry cruise. Does kind of sound like a lot of fun.
It does, but it doesn't say where they're returning to, so it sounds like it's a one-way cruise.
Right.
Furry Blacklight 2024 takes place October 30th.
This is how they're going to get rid of the furries.
Put them on a boat and ship them out to sea.
the furry Titanic.
Go on without
Furtanic.
me. Go on without me.
There's room on this door, goddammit. I'm not going away.
Fur of the world. All right. Furry Blacklight takes place October 30th through the 3rd of November in Tremblay, en France. In Prague, you can go to the Fursuit Halloween Prague, October 31st through the November 3rd. And Furpocalypse takes place October 31st through November 4th in Stamford, Connecticut.
So Cheetaro,
Yes,
do you have a movie review for us this week?
I do, as a matter of fact. And
Yay! What are we reviewing?
and you know, it's only kind of fair that I do a movie review on, and I have to preface this, it's on Cats, but it's not the Cats the musical.
Okay.
Just so everybody knows, it's not
worried.
Cats the musical. It's called Cats, and if you search on it, on those who out there that like to search on movies on IMDb, it's actually called Cats and Peachtopia.
Okay.
So if you're looking for this movie on IMDb, it's Cats and Peachtopia. But it's on Hulu, and it's just called Cats. It's from 2018. Yeah, it's a really cute movie. It's basically a movie about a father cat and his son cat who wants to like go out into the real world and explore because he heard that his mom was in Peachtopia and he wants to go there. And so it's kind of like adventures for the cats to go through. There's a couple of funny things that I do want to mention. In the beginning of the movie, there's a scene when this takes place in Japan, mind you.
Okay.
And there's a scene where the cats are getting introduced to another animal that the owner has brought in, and it's a parrot, or a macaw, excuse me. And on the wall are two pieces of artwork that are very iconic. One is a Campbell's soup can.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
You know, but instead of it saying tomato soup, it actually says cat food. And the other is the iconic Abbey Road album cover.
Okay. Oh, nice.
That has the Beatles walking along this Abbey Road, you know? but they're cats instead of the Beatles, of course.
Cute.
So there's all sorts of little tiny things that are in this like that are kind of cute and kind of fun. There are some sad moments in this. So any furs with small children, you might want to be aware that there are some sad moments in here. For the most part, it's fun, it's exciting. There's lots of good animation, let me just say. And of course, also in the beginning, if you ever thought that a cat could fly, this is the movie to be able to watch.
Okay.
I'm going to be giving this movie a 3.5 chirps rating because it was entertaining, it was exciting, and it was even Rayne friendly because there was actually some raccoons that were helping to.
Then I'm going to have to watch it.
Yeah, that are in this movie. Yeah, raccoons.
And no Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yay. No Leonardo
that's the best
DiCaprio.
part.
Yeah.
That is always the best part of a movie is not having Leonardo
actually,
DiCaprio in it.
It would be Leonardo DiCaprio because that would be the appropriate.
Actually, I take it back. There is one movie. Well, actually, there are two movies that I like him in.
Yeah.
One is What's Eating Gilbert Grape. That was his best movie ever.
Yeah.
And the other movie that I like him in is The Quick and the Dead because he dies in it.
Quickly, yes.
Quickly. Oh yeah, he dies really hard in this. It's just because he's so cocky in it, his character, and he gets killed like a little, baby in it. It's really bad.
Well, you'll be happy to know there is no Leonardo DiCaprio, and there are no cat buttholes, so you don't have to worry about that either.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. All right, so we're going to tell some jokes. I have a few jokes that I looked up and found. Taebyn, of course, would say that he has this joke book that he doesn't read ahead. I don't know that he doesn't read ahead all the time. I think he might.
I don't know if I trust him or not on that either.
But the rest of us go out and seek out these weird jokes. And my jokes today are very insect-centric.
Okay.
So, do you know what has antlers and sucks blood?
Count Elcula?
No, a mosquito.
Oh
no! Oh,
so bad.
Bump.
You do know that at any time the urge to sing "A Lion Sleeps Tonight" is just a whim away, a whim away, a whim away.
Did you hear about the near tragedy at the mall?
No, what happened?
No.
There was a power outage and 12 blondes were stuck on the escalators for over 4 hours.
Oh no!
Oh no! So I'm going to dedicate this joke to Taebyn.
Okay.
What happens to a frog's car when it breaks down?
It gets towed.
It gets towed away. Yes.
Do you know what the most faithful insect is?
A grasshopper?
Well, no, it's the tick because once it finds someone, it sticks with them.
What do you get from hanging out in apple trees?
Sauced?
Sore arms.
Sore arms.
That'll do it. Let's see. A blonde calls the fire department because her house is on fire. And firefighter says, how do we get there? And blonde says, duh, take the big red truck.
Why don't elephants use the computer?
Because they got big old hooves?
Ugh.
No, because they're afraid of the mouse.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Y'all know what the problem with worker bees is?
they're so busy.
No, but I'm sure you're going to tell us.
When they go to a party, they just drone on and on and on.
Why did the house go to the doctor?
Why did the house go to the doctor? I don't know why.
It was having window panes.
I was about to say shingles.
Oh, that's even better.
That one's better. Why are dogs like phones?
I don't know.
Because they have caller IDs.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Bad, but funny.
All right. I think that's enough of that.
Sorry.
Let's cut up to our shameless plugs before we get out of here. I want to ask you all to give our network's other podcasts a listen, which is Royal Highness, Off Leash, and 3 Do Who. They're all part of the Injured Nerves Network family, along with this podcast. And when you are at BLFC, come find me, give me a hug. I've got swag to give away.
Yeah, Off Leash has some really nice swag, I must say.
Yes.
Wow.
So I think it takes it to my turn to shamelessly plug stuff. And so, as barely mentioned, we have the 3 Do Who podcast, which is our monthly Doctor Who podcast, starring myself, Barely, and my bestest British friend in the world, James. And we talk about all things Doctor Who. Each episode premieres on the last day of every month. And what's this month? We're doing the parodies. So on the 30th, you should get to listen to some fun information about Doctor Who parodies.
See.
It was a fun episode.
TickTock, what do you got? Anything?
Let's see. Yeah, nothing much to plug at this time. But if anyone has anything they want to see in the news, just send it in on to me.
All right, Cheetaro, how about you?
I'm going to mention. I know it's in February, but Get Out the Float. It's kind of one of those fun little things that everybody that wants to go in the to Seaside in February, which is going to be an awesome thing. Registration is open, so please come. And also, I am also going to be at BLFC. So if anybody listening is out there and sees me, please come and say hi and give me a hug. I'll be there. And hopefully, if everything goes well, knock on wood, I will actually have my Cheetaro head done by then.
Yay!
Ooh. Nice.
Yay.
Nice. How are you getting there?
I'm walking.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
He's running. He's going to run.
I'm a cheetah. I'm going to run the whole way.
Run.
No, friends are taking me and my partner. We're going via an automobile.
Nice. All right, well, first, that's it for us here at BFFT this episode. We love that you have joined us for a while, and we know you have a choice in podcasts. We appreciate you choosing ours. Thanks to TickTox for his report. TickTock for his report. And thanks to Cheetaro for that wonderful review. Remember, you can help support the show through donations, subscriptions, or sharing with others. Any final words from any of y'all? All y'all.
Hey, be happy, stay furry.
Cheetaro!
Have a wonderful time, and hope to see you guys soon at a con.
And I'd like to say to my wonderful fiance, Ziggy, I love you, and I can't wait for us to get married. And to the rest of you furs, be kind to yourself and each other, Moobarkfluff, and stay furry.
Okay, so from all of us here at BFFT and the fine folks at Injured Nerves Productions, we hope that you have a super day. Huanayand and Moobarkfluff.
Barely Furcasting is an Injured Nerve studio production and is found on all major podcast platforms or can be heard directly at barelyfurcasting.com. The Furcast is produced, recorded, and directed by Barely Normal, aka Mike Began, and is edited by Barely and our associate producer Rayne Raccoon. Opening and closing theme music, as well as some interstitial music, was created for Injured Nerves Productions for the use on the podcast by Reg Day with Damian Tanuki. If you would like to hear more music by Reg Day, you can search for Tweezer Beak on Bandcamp or Hoop Loop Tunes on SoundCloud. Other interstitial and background music through silvermansound.com, Gator Tots on SoundCloud.com, the YouTube Free Use Library, and Epidemic Sound. If you would like to send us a message, you can do so via email at barelyfurcasting@gmail.com or on our Telegram chat at BFFT chat, on Twitter, on our Facebook page, or on the barelyfurcasting.com webpage. You can help support the show through donations at coffee.com/barelyfurcasting or through Patreon at patreon.com/barelyfurcasting. Thanks for listening. We hope you come back and listen next week.